So already, good morning and good noon to all of you. So I think the last session was quite vibrant. So this is a different kind of the story I'll share that the universities we have been creating an atmosphere ecosystem of not only the talent creation and also the innovation now has peeped in. So therefore there is a different ecosystem now in the university. And as you know that the problems in this generation is more complex, is different from the problems of 2-3 decades before, and it is well conceived, well understood in the university arena or the entire world that we need a synergistic effort to address the issues rather than a segregated approach. So therefore the team building, therefore the partnership, and there is also a buzzword that industry and academia bridge should actually, there should not be any gap between this. This should be actually matched, the gap should be reduced. And how do you do that? And why should you do that? Because the problems which are existing, yes, no more actually is just the problem of the earlier days. So it needs a different disciplines, approach, ways to do that. So the founders, the startups, we are just listening, and now there is also ecosystem happening in the university, also has startup ecosystem. So how do you join together to strengthen this and solve the issues? That's the goal. So the universities earlier was created, yes, just for the creating the human resource, talent creation, creating new knowledge, disseminating to the society. But nevertheless, I think it has a change now. So it is in fact helping in the nation building where it is, and also the regional, also cooperation, prosperity, and we create the human resource. That's the kind of new knowledge we create and also disseminate. But then this time has come that we join hands with industry, co-create things, and also join together to address the issue in a different way. And therefore, that's where sustainable joint value will have if we join hands with industry. And the gap between the industry and the academia will be reduced. That's how the vision we should have. We should align, we should accelerate, I think, the joint ventures with the industry problems should be there in the university should also, the faculty, students should be there in the industry, learn about the issues, problems, feel it, and then innovate, do research on that. So that's how the things will move. Now, why for the next decade, why we are reinventing? Already we have been doing it, but there is I think we have been talking all the time that there is a trust deficit between industry and academia. The industry feels that academia is not ready. Academia feels the industry is a different kind of footprint. So this trust deficit has to be actually bridged together, should be reduced. And the reason together now we have to do together because there is a paradigm shift in the problems and issues which have already been talked about. Say for any example, any disciplines, now we are coming to a new paradigm, new dimensions in the different kind of the arena. Say for example, the artificial intelligence is now immersive, is pervasive across the disciplines. So therefore now every discipline wants this. If you look at the healthcare, I think arena, then biotech has now emerged. It needs more of computer science, more of AI for the final analysis to understand the intricate or the complexities of the issues. Now, if I give an example, this year's Nobel laureate in chemistry is the kind of metal organic framework which they have developed for they have struggled for last 30 years to find out a solution for reducing the kind of air pollution. And that's happening great in the universities. And the recent buzzword is the quantum computing. If you look at the quantum science and technology, not the computing only, quantum communication, quantum sensing, quantum, I think there is a stall in quantum energy. You can feel it. So there is a big kind of paradigm shift in this. Really that quantum computing comes in actually to the real scalable things and real into the society, the entire paradigm shift will be there in the computer science arena. The entire journey, the learning, things will change. So therefore, similarly, things is climate technology, which there is a threat. Now we have felt the pinch of it, how we have intervened, and the entire COPs 30 just went on in November. So therefore, it has been felt that the different problems have evolved and techniques have evolved, tools have evolved. So therefore, we should join together. And there is another kind of shift in the dimensional aspect of the research in the university. Earlier it was just publishing and creating new knowledge, but now translational research is the go of the world, and therefore how the research is impacting the society. That's what become the challenge for the university, and that's the clarion call for the university. So that needs kind of the investment, risk, as you have been talking about. Nothing, any innovation, any kind of the research never happens in one go. There are failures. So we need investors, we need risk management, and therefore we must prepare the talent, prepare the students, prepare the kind of the faculty members or the entire stakeholders of the university for continuous learning, because every discipline is evolving, the world is changing. Therefore, these are the aspects which you will face in the next decade. Therefore, the partnership should be stronger, and there should be a cohesive kind of the goal and synergy between industry and university to address more of the complex issue. Now, we had been collaborating. It's not that we are collaborating for the new time, but we have to revisit it, have a relook it. So we have to co-create the mindset, so a joint problem sharing, framing the problem jointly, and we should join together, think about the problem, understand each other, and then involve industry right from the day one to address the problem. So what is their mindset and how the university mindset, the professors and the students from university and the industry personnel should join together. And yes, there is a risk involved, which the industry doesn't want to take a risk because of the kind of the viability, but yes, any research, any innovation has a risk. So therefore, that blended funding should be from the university, from the government agencies, and from also from the industry, all together should join, so that there should be a risk will be shared between them. And yes, the skills now is a talk about it has to be reskilled, and it is not that the same skill will be used, and upskilling also is necessary because of the issues and the problems which are evolving over the years, and the experience and the industry immersion also should be there. Kind of the university also people should be there immersed in the industry. And because of the trust deficit, there should be ethics and joint sharing of IPs and clarity in thinking, understanding. Just signing a MOU will not actually work, but you have to have a very clarity, data ethics, and governance of a particular joint venture also to be clear. And there should be measurable impact. There should be metrics defining the KPIs. So we should have a cases, continuous learning, dashboards, and also how do we impact? What is the measurable impact we want to create on that? So this is how we have to redefine our joint venture collaboration with the industry. So the talent creation have been the usual kind of the go of the university. University, we induct people and yes, train them in a different kind of the disciplines or different kind of the subjects, and then create talent. So now is the issue or the problem of the multidisciplinary approach to a particular problem. No single discipline will solve it. So therefore, that's also the kind of the demand of the industry. So this multidisciplinary curricula should be designed together with the suggestion comments from the industry, or taking the views from the industry, and then internship programs, kind of the live projects should also be shared with the students, and so the students will have a confidence to work on that with mentorship by the faculty members, and that will help us the employability, career readiness, and the confidence. It will instill a sense of confidence among the students that yes, I have worked on this. Industry will have a confidence that the students who are trained well because there is a kind of a demand that the students are not industry ready. This will also help them to be little industry ready. And lifelong learning is another goal, that we should have a micro credentials. Nowadays, there are a lot of kind of the issues, because everybody has to be trained in industry in different kind of technology, the AI, the other aspects, quantum. So there should be micro credentials offered by the university to train the people from the industry, and also the executive programs from the industry. And so also the faculty and the students would, they are in the industry to be part of the industry problems. So there should be joint R&D labs which are already been happening. And yes, industry now is coming forward that you will establish a joint research labs, and where the kind of the researchers from the university, the scholars, the students will participate there. And we should have a kind of the shared ventures, should identify the issues, problems, and therefore develop labs. And yes, funded by the industry, government agencies or any other agencies, and the university itself. And the challenges of the industry should be shared with the university students and the faculty members. They should know, they should be aware of the challenges, and then use the research or the innovation to address those issues. And there should be a kind of the feedback from the industry and from the academia in a loop, so that the problem statement becomes clear, and back and forth we should move, such that there will be clarity in the problem statement, what we are addressing, and the tools you will use, the risk involved, the funding, everything should go together, so that the people in the university should not feel isolated from the industry, and industry will not feel isolated from the academia. So these are the market access, the customers, the pilot customers, the co-development contracts. Now, the model we will think of that talent creation was actually the earlier kind of the thought, the mindset. Now you have to have a apprenticeship skills, and also entrepreneurship is also in the part of the kind of the curriculum. And we should have innovation partnership, where we have co-created the programs. The governance should be in the university. We should have a kind of the special designated cell who will jointly connect with the industry. Now, the policies must be clearly defined. It's not a paper of MOU, but it should be beyond that. And then we should have clarity in kind of doing the things. So that will help us in engaging industry with us. And investment should be jointly should happen, and there should be confidence of the industry in the academia. Academia also should have confidence, and then the investment will happen. And then clarity in the ethical part, there should be ethical part, and the compliance office that should be responsible to actually bring confidence, instill confidence the industry personnel in the academia, that yes, this academia actually can deliver. We should have a joint team from industry as well as academia who will look into this, because the mindsets are different. So jointly we should sit together, and the joint committee, the university leaders as well as the industry, both should come together and decide. And then funding models should be discussed. There should be transparency, and the KPIs also should be defined. The metrics should be defined properly. And yes, the incentives and should be also aligned with the co-created outcomes. Who have actually what is the contribution from where we have actually contributed, and who are the kind of the top-notch innovators involved. And then the privacy, ethical standards we must maintain, because the industry will have faith in academia. Academia also will be now kind of piercing into the industry issues. So these are the some of the so this is what we can think of the panels in the ways we have to go through. This is what industry challenge led research with university resources. University has some resources, And yes, there's some talent, the professors and as well the scholars and the students. And industry challenge problems, industry problems should be there with the university. And then it should be a co-innovation platform, and data sharing should be well kind of the taken by both industry and academia. And exchange programs are more important in the sense that the scholars and the faculty members should be there in the industry, and industry professional also should come to the academia. And the industry should fund actually the fellowships through which the scholars will work on the industry problems. The research will be driven on the industry problems, and there should be sabbaticals of the faculty members and the research scholars to be there in the industry to do that. And some spin out and corporate ventures also you can think of, aligned IP and revenue sharing, that also should be clearly defined in the policy and all. Joint proof of concept, you can share the risk, funding with milestone, gates, that we should have a joint proof of concept, and where both the industry as well as the academia should join together. This is what the for the next decade we can think. One can think of the funding models. If we create a joint lab, I think the joint group, the university should also fund, the industry also should invest, and the other public funding agencies also should fund. And then the outcomes should be based on the outcomes are should be milestones, based disbursement based on the outcomes. It is not kind of the free hand. So that will be industry also have a kind of a goal and objective. So also the academia, that there are some milestones to be achieved, and revenue sharing should be well framed, and sustainable partnership should be thought of, because otherwise it should not that in one issue we should actually pursue and then disconnect. And then there is a alumni which is actually part of the university. They contribute well. They are also in the industry. Maybe it could be in the industry or the corporate. And that ecosystem, actually they should join together to fund the leveraging the capital of this. So this should help us to financing the joint models, joint laboratories, joint research problems. So you should have some metrics, otherwise if there is no tangible outcome, then yes, the model will fail. We should have a metric of the students who are working on the industry problems must be employable. The new roles must be created, and the skill certification should happen, because the students or the scholars who will work on this, that should be certification. And there should be more number of co-developed projects and to be created, because new projects should be developed, so that the students will have opportunity to work on the live projects, the live industry problems. And as an innovative metrics, we should have patents, licenses, spin-outs, and spit to the market, like kind of the translational research, the research into the impact or commercialization of the kind of the innovation. So, and also the social regional impact metrics, the jobs, and what about the SMEs capacity building. These are some of the kind of regional aspect, but there should be some metric, otherwise the industry will have again the kind of the false set of this trust deficit will happen. So this is what the risk we should also, there is a risk in doing this. Yes, industry always feels that is a risk to have a lab in the university, and university feels that yes, since the deliverable, the milestones are there, difficult to do research, but then jointly one can think of the aligning the risk together, and clear policy for the transferring the IPs and the licensing policies. If there is a misalignment in the kind of the, it may happen, a research never without fail will succeed. Therefore, it should take care of the risk. And data privacy is another thing. The trust should be there on the maintaining the privacy of the data, because many times often the industry doesn't want to share the data, all the data. So therefore, there should be ethical kind of the governance, and the sharing or the data privacy must be maintained. And the scalability is another one. The industry wants scalability. So the pilots, whatever will be developed in the university, may not be the goal of the industry, but nevertheless, the scalable aspects also have to be deliberated and also should be thought of. There are some examples one can think of that you should have a joint labs, can have dictate translations. Now we are talking about the technology, AI, and all the quantum we are thinking of. So therefore, we can think of such kind of models. And then we can think of fellowships, which already has been happening. The industry is shepherding fellowship to the students who will work on the industry problems. So there will be motivated, students will be motivated to work, and the professor also will be motivated to take up industry problems. So that should be second one. So third one would be regional innovation corridors. We should have also think of what are the problems existing for the region, and then you should take up those problems instead of taking any problem of the globe. So that also should be aspect of this. And we should have a measurable impact of the whatever we do want to create, and that has to be sustainable between the industry and academia. So for the next decade, you can think of co-created talent and innovation pipeline. Now that should not be a isolated kind of a sport, isolated kind of a discipline. It should be multidisciplinary. It should be joint venture by the industry and academia. And there should be transition from the research ideas to the market-ready solutions. Now, the university was engaged in conducting research, high-quality research, disseminating, but now research with impact, translational research is the goal, and that should be, therefore, industry will also join looking at the impact of the university research. And then collaboration, equitable access for the benefits, both faculties and the also regions. And a scalable model is necessary because industry needs that and the society also needs that. So therefore, I think in the next decade, if we can do that, then there should be immersion of the academia in the industry immersion also in the academia, and they will be joined together, address these complex issues of the society. This is how you can think of for the short-term goal, can establish a clear governance, policy, and then you can think of talent creation hub, innovation partnership office in the university itself. There should be a dedicated kind of a cell to take care of this university and academia collaboration and taking it forward, monitoring it, and then scaling the pilots, whatever you develop, and IP, licensing, everything should be clear. And then we can start the partnership and address or to co-create things. And industry also has some advantage by joining together because the co-create problem statement are on the agendas for the industry, and industry also will participate in the sponsored labs, student internship also will happen, and fellowship, and yes, governance, advisory boards, industry people can participate in that, already happening, but it can happen in a more rigorous way, and talent upskilling also can happen. Industry personnel can join with academia so that there will be upskilling of the talent. And joint venture in the corporate venture arms, that should be industry also participate in this. So that is a benefit for both industry as well as academia. This is what the need to establish. Join as a founding partner for the next decade. We both join together. Industry academia should join now because of the issues coming up, because the innovation also is now an ecosystem in the university and also is also in the industry. Both should join together and should have joint labs. And co-funded labs, fellowships for the scholars who will work on the problems. Pilot programs we should actually establish. We should collaborate, and shared IP must be there, both industry and academia. And students should work in the real life problems, and micro credentials should be a kind of the sponsored so that people can earn those credits in the new technology which is upcoming in the future. That's what is my all about joining, reinventing the collaborative effort of industry and academia. Thank you.